So I think it's live, but I often think things that aren't true, kind of like political people. Anyway, good afternoon. Welcome. I hope you voted if you are in Missouri, and you can still vote. The polls are still open. Sadly, I hear the lines aren't very long. I myself voted by mail. My name is Jessica Hentoff. I'm known as Jessica the Circus Lady, and this is not a political podcast. This is the Circus Harmony Up in the Air live stream that we do every Tuesday on City Museum's Facebook page, because City Museum is the usual home of Circus Harmony. Circus Harmony is St. Louis's only social circus school, and we have classes and shows in all circus arts for all ages. And right now you can find out more information online at circusharmony.org. We are doing all of our classes online, but City Museum is open and you can go there, and they have all sorts of exciting things going on. They have their new Play STL, where you can nominate or you sign in as a nonprofit or you vote for a nonprofit, and go to their website and their Facebook page. It'll tell you how you can support your favorite nonprofit, which of course we hope is Circus Harmony, but also how you can get tickets and win prizes and have fun at City Museum. Right now, while we're waiting for more people to log on, I am going to I always attempt technology on this show. I'm going to attempt to show a video. So as our regular followers know, if I ever get all the technology right, it could mean the pandemic is nearly over. I have not come even close yet. Like right now, I'm hoping that it's even broadcasting. Nobody has texted me to say otherwise, but might be just because they haven't noticed yet. So meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and show you a video. A couple of weeks ago, our guest was, okay, that's fine. I'm reading the instructions, which have suddenly changed. A couple of weeks ago, we had as our guest Oliver Lair, one of our alumni, and today's guest is Kyron Walton. And so what I was hoping to share, and now I'm having this terrible trouble doing so because of that technology issue I told you about, what I'm hoping to share is a video of their act. That's not it. That's it. This was their act, their senior year at Circus Harmony. And this was also the act they auditioned for to get into Circus College. Anyway, hopefully you're watching that. there's that technology fail that I keep talking about. Let's see if I can. Well, it's getting better, but I'm far from smooth. So in any case, share. That was Kyron and Oliver's hand-to-hand act. I'm going to bring Kyron in a moment. And that was the act that they also used to audition for the National Circus School of Montreal, where they are both currently students. I want to correct myself. City Museum has launched a new program called Play for Good STL, hashtag Play for Good STL, about supporting your favorite nonprofits. Again, we hope Circus Harmony is your favorite nonprofit, but support any good work. So go to City Museum's website or Facebook page or Twitter or any of their social media to learn more about Play for Good STL. But right now, we're going to learn more about Kyron Walton. Kyron is a long time, or was a long time student. He's now an alum and an adjunct professor, a guest coach, as it were. And now I hopefully, again, technology, bring in Kyron Walton. It works. I'm always amazed when it works.
Hello.
Hey.
I can hear it.
All right, so there's Kyron. They just watched the video of you and Oliver in Accelerando. And a couple of weeks ago, Oliver was a guest on Up in the Air live stream. So how old are you now, and how old were you when you started Circus Harmony?
I'm 19. Yeah, I'm 19 now, and I was 8 when I first started. So I've been doing it for about almost 11 years now.
And I love this story. When we first met you, when you first saw us, we were performing at your school. I think Melvin and T-Rock were there. I don't remember who else, but I know they were there. And you take the story from there. We were doing a show.
I know that I saw it and I wanted to take classes, and
running over and grabbed your mother and drug her back to the show. You don't remember that?
I remember that, but I also remember like playing with my friends and saying I could do a backflip and landed on my head. So I didn't know which thing you were.
I actually didn't know about that part. No, I just remember watching them. Your eyes got really big. You ran and you grabbed your mom and you were like, I want to do that.
Yeah, because that was during that. I remember when it happened. I think it was before I saw it was after I saw Universal, and after seeing Universal Circus, that was one of the first circus I've seen that I really want to start taking classes. So then I had the perfect opportunity when you guys came to my school and performed.
Fabulous timing. And for people who don't know about Universal Circus, it is America's only Black-owned circus, and you should look it up online. They put on an amazing show. There's this hip hop under the big top. It's fabulous and inspirational.
Yeah.
So then you started taking class with us when you were 8. So a long, long time. Have you ever counted up how many different acts you performed with Circus Harmony?
I don't know acts, because if it's acts, that's way more than disciplines.
No, do discipline. So like
you did disciplines. Off the hand, I can say trapeze, cradle, partner acrobatics, contortion, hand balancing, unicycle, juggling,
rolling
globe, Diablo, straps.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, that's a quick 10, but going more into depth, I'm sure there's more also.
And yeah, if we counted up the number of actual shows, most people don't realize that Circus Harmony in the course of a year, a normal non-pandemic year, does hundreds of shows at City Museum. And you would be in that often at least 4 to 10 of them a week.
Yeah.
Not to mention the shows that when we would perform with Circus Flora. In your honor, I'm wearing the St. Louis 2019 shirt. which
I
shows
was looking for it. I don't have many circus shirts here because when I came from Canada, but I was looking for it, but it's drying right now. I just washed my clothes because I'm packing,
that would have
getting
been
ready.
cute if we were wearing the same shirt, but it shows the four-man high, and you
Yeah.
can clearly see there's Kyron, there's Oliver. But that was a move that you were really keen on doing, and that's the only time the Arches have performed a four high.
Yeah.
2019 at Circus Flora.
Made some arch history.
We did. In fact, that whole act, and if people want to go back to the other Up in the Air live streams, when Oliver was a guest, I showed that whole act, which opened actually with you and Oliver's the hand. So what would you say are your most memorable moments? Because I would think there would be many of being part of Circus Harmony.
I think my most memorable moments would be many of the trips we went on. So one of my favorite ones was the trip to Israel, which you still don't every day as I've gotten older, I just don't realize how significant it was at that age. Like I'm like, okay, this is a pretty big deal. But as I get older, I'm like, wow, that's crazy what I'm doing when I'm 13. And I don't even realize the weight of impact that has. So
do you remember that there was a war going on when we were there? That was
I remember that like the day before we're like, are we going to go to Israel right now? And some people opted out, but
one person.
I don't know if the people that are watching know about the Jewish Israeli circus and the Peace to Pyramids partnership that we did there. But
with the Galilee Circus, which was a Israeli Jewish and Arab youth, and we partnered with them from 2007 for 11 years. And so 2014 was the last time we went to Israel. 2016 was the last time they came here. And sadly, that school, the Galilee Circus, folded. Ali has kept the school going, but just in the Arab village and just with Arab children, but it's really going strong.
Yeah.
And
so being able to go there and make connections with so many different people, and what you don't realize is that when while being there, you can't tell the tension between Arab and Jewish people just because you're in a circus with those people that are working together, and it's very uncommon to see that happening in that area. It's almost like segregation in black and white in the in the United States. So being able to go there, being able to just like, I don't know, work with so many different types of people and tour all over the country performing for Arab people, Jewish people, it doesn't matter. And just being able to be a part of that for a movement that's promoting like social justice and equality for everybody is like very important. And even now that's 2014, even now 6 years later, I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy that's something I was doing at that age. Not even really.
Got stranded there, actually. We stayed an extra week. Yeah. The bombing, we couldn't leave. And then we did get home, and 4 days later, Ferguson.
A very crazy year. So circus has always,
like, from your perspective, having just come from a country at war, and you don't live, I live right near Ferguson, but you live more in the city. But what were your thoughts as a young teenager then?
So I was 13 when Ferguson happened, and I would say it wasn't the first time that an unarmed African American was killed by someone. So for me, it was different, because like for me, the first person I remember, because I remember there's so many African Americans' names that I remember being killed, in my opinion, in a wrongful way. Like Trayvon Martin was the first person I remember. That was in 2012, for just walking down the street with a bag of Skittles and a hood on his head. And George Zimmerman, I know the person that killed him, shot him. And in 2014, when that happened, I was like, this is it's just really strange. I have social media, so like I'm able to keep up with things that are posted, but this one was different. There was the energy and the just in the air in St. Louis. People were really tired of it because it's not covered a lot, and it was not covered a lot during that time, and it's something that's definitely been happening in that community and around the St. Louis metropolitan area for
I would say everywhere,
years.
but the response was much stronger to any other similar situation.
And it changed, and it changed the game for a lot of the protests that are going on right now. Like everybody remembers Ferguson. They remember that Quick Trip being burned down. They remember the tear gas. They have never nobody had seen anything happening like that in the United States for the longest. That's how like the Black Lives Matter movement evolved from the Ferguson protest. So many things happened because of that. And it seems so small, and it was 6 years ago, but look at all the cities that are protesting now.
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
Election in St. Louis, a woman who became known because she was one of the main voices of the Ferguson protest, Cori Bush, is now running for a seat in Congress.
And not only was she in Ferguson, I've been to, I don't know how many protests I've been to in St. Louis as of like right now since the pandemic, but everyone I've been to, I've seen her there. And it's so impactful to see somebody that is going for all the causes rooting for all the causes that you are rooting for. It was also running to be a politician. It's like, I don't see that often, especially where you're up close. You can hear her, you hear her voice, you're talking, you can communicate. It's really nice to be able to have that, especially in a city like this when there's problems that we like really have to fix.
Absolutely. So we did a big jump. So you spent your whole high school doing circus,
mm-hmm.
going to regular school, and you went to a very academically demanding school.
Yes.
I don't know how much you want to talk about that, but also you applied to how many colleges?
I applied to 10 or 11, and I got into all of them except one.
Which is pretty remarkable, and
yeah, to not go to any of them.
And then you also applied to.
Yeah, so it was weird doing that because I knew that I wanted to go to Eco National, the Circ, when I was in 6th grade, when I was 13. No, 12. I was 12. And I was like, okay, I know I want to go here. There were students that had auditioned and got in, and there was a student that was already there working, doing hand to hand. So I always knew I wanted to do that. I didn't know how serious, but I knew that like, okay, I want to audition and just see if I have a chance. Cause like, who gets to do circus professionally at one of the top schools in the world?
And that school, École Nationale de Cirque, is harder to get into than Harvard or Yale. Your mom actually did the statistics on it.
Yeah,
and post about it when you got it.
Not only that, was doing dance during the time I did circus too. So my dance coaches were like, "Oh, you need to go to Juilliard, and we're pushing you for that." And it was just like, but I wanted to be a dermatologist doing all of that. So I got to high school.
Right? You're still young.
I guess, but I got to high school and I was like, okay, my parents had never been on me about my grades or anything. I'm like, I'm just going to have good grades and we're just going to see what happens. And I was like stressing myself out crazy. Like, I need to have the best grades. I just want to have the most options as possible. And that's exactly what happened. I got into all of the colleges I wanted to. I had options. I had got some scholarships. Then I went and auditioned for ENC, and I did the audition. We made it through all the cuts, and then the last day, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm talking to a coach, one of the judges, and he was like, "You guys got my vote." On the last day, and I'm
remarkable. Well,
and I was like, okay, this is I hope the bag is secured because I feel it. And ever since then, I waited for about a month, and we found out that we both got in to do exactly what we wanted to do. And all the colleges I applied to just went down the drain, and I just did 4 years of high school to go to Circus College and didn't even ask for my diploma.
Yeah, but you had to prove that you went to high school, and to say that all that academic work is for nothing is not true. because as you go out in the world and you're negotiating contracts and you're deciding where you want to perform and who you want to perform for and what else you want to do in the world, I think your academic.
Oh no, it was all of the academic work was. I'm not going to say it was for nothing. I do think it could be on a lower scale for what I'm doing, but I have a lot of just information in my head that I'm like, wow, how can I apply this to circus? Because there's so much stuff that I'm not using right now.
Or not using yet. And then there was another major trip. So we had gone to Israel several times and you got to be part of one of those, but there's one trip that you and Oliver, the only people who have had that opportunity, and that happened in April of your senior year.
And that was we went to France and we did a small partnership with it's called Tucson Peace Circus. It's in Nice, southern France, and we went there actually right after we won third place in the Fox Teen Talent competition.
So Fox Teen Talent, which I'm going to talk about the one that's upcoming, but Fox Teen Talent was on a Saturday at the Fox Theater, and you and Oliver took third. It was a huge, huge deal. It also gave you college scholarship money.
Exactly.
Who don't know, it's actually the Fox Performing Arts Charitable Foundation hosts the St. Louis Teen Talent Competition. And there were all these rounds and they got down to 10 acts, 11 acts that compete on stage at the Fox in front of judges. And then there's a live, then there's a TV show on the 9 network, and you guys won.
Exactly.
So wonderful. And then the next morning,
we flew to France, and so that was a really, it was much different than the trips, all the part, because we've been on many partnerships, Puerto Rico, Israel twice, and this one was different because it was just me and Oliver and Eliana, and we
one of our coaches. And yeah, we shouldn't say that going to Puerto Rico was pretty amazing too.
It was it was great, but the France was a little bit more I would say more laid back, and it was just kind of nice to be immersed in the environment. It was a little different. It was all French speaking, and like we were just like teaching kids, and it was very
But then, drum roll please, on World Circus Day, we went to
Monte Carlo, and we performed in front of the princess for World Circus Day, which is the World Circus Federation, which I believe is based in
the headquarters. The princess oversees the World Circus Federation. Members are from all over, including America. And you got a standing ovation from the princess for your hand-to-hand act.
Yes. So that was nice. That's something we don't do often, and that's something I can, I was only 18 when we did that, and like not many 18-year-olds get to say that they've done that at such a young age, and I can't wait to be able to go there for like a real festival and perform to see how much progress we've made since the time we first performed in front of the princess, because I know it's going to be more than once. I'm speaking into.
I can tell you that she remembers you because I was at the Circus Festival of Monte Carlo helping to create the Global Alliance of Circus Schools, and I saw the princess, and the word she used to describe you and Oliver was magnifique. So
that's amazing.
You're remembered there. So you went to Israel, the partnership with Puerto Rico. You've performed. You've taught for us. Another really extraordinary time you had was we spent 2 weeks at the Smithsonian performing at the Protest Festival, and we were the only troupe that also had their own show at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
That was. There's so many. I'm not saying that a lot of them just like go over my head, but there's starting to be so many things that I've done in Circus Harmony where it's just like enriched my life is what I can say. It's just like a part of me. I don't always recall every single like minute of it, but like it's always a part of me. And Washington DC and being able to be there for 2 weeks was very fun. And I don't know. It was kind of it was a little bit it reminded me of Flora a little bit, and it gave us, it was like, okay, we're really working, we're performing, but like just having the opportunity to perform in the a Circus Smithsonian Folklife Festival. I've never heard of that before. I never even knew
We
they
never
did
did
that.
it before.
And to be able to get flown to Washington, D.C., put in a hotel, staying there for 2 to 3 weeks, not only being able to perform, but other youth circuses come in and being able to perform, and just
And
being
other
able to meet
professional people, and we
so
were
many circus people around the world was very
speaking
I
of
don't know
circus
the
people
word.
around the world. You were also with Circus Harmony as part of the World Circus Summit, the one and only. In 2015, there was the World Circus Summit, and we performed there.
That 2015. That
I think.
And yeah, that was also, that's actually a very, very interesting performance that was different from any of the ones I've been in, because we were doing 2 different things at the same time. We were doing World Circus Summit.
So the troupe is the St. Louis Arches, is our elite youth performance troupe, and we split them in half because half of them were performing with another professional circus and half of them at the summit, because they were relatively close. So yeah, you had to totally recreate everything.
It was about 5 of us, and we did almost every single trick we did in the Flora act, but on a smaller scale. And like, everybody was pretty similar in size. I was the shortest, but I was just flying every single trick, and it was very tiring. And we were doing some of our impressive stuff, and we didn't even have a map when we performed. So that's one of the coolest experiences, because we did a pretty good, remember doing a really good job doing the performance, but putting that together with 5 people and just seeing what we can do and pushing the limits was amazing. And where I go to school with one of the people that was in the act now, Isabella.
Right.
It was she goes to my school, another St. Louis.
She came up through Circus Harmony. Yep. So Circus Harmony is a nonprofit, and I'm going to do a little pitch right here to give other young people the opportunity that Kyron had, and Oliver and Isabella and all these other students who have gotten to go places that they would never have gone otherwise. People can donate online at circusharmony.org, but we have another show coming up, not in person, but on October 10th at 7 o'clock Central Time. We're going to be premiering our new show, The Balancing Act, Walking the Pandemic Tightrope, and you are part of that. I also, before you leave, I want to make sure that we show the video that you made for Black History Month. Do you want? So people should watch our social media for October 10th. Mark your calendars now. It's going to be a show unlike any we've ever done, because we're in a time unlike any we've ever been in. And you've actually been teaching this whole summer with us. So we appreciate that. But talk a little about this other video I want to show of yours that you posted for Black History Month.
So it was weird being in Canada during Black History Month, because they were just like, not really, there's not Black History Month in Canada during February. And I was just like, this just doesn't seem right to me. And like, it was the last, I had went into train one of the days, and it was probably the last day. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a video. And I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I knew while I was practicing to put together a piece that's associated with Black history and Blackness and just the culture of just being Black. And I was making sequences and stuff while doing that. And I had a whole bunch of videos, and then I came home and I just put it together, and I used a clip of music from Beyonce's younger sister, Solange, and her mother is talking about like what it's like to be Black, and just like some of the things that, just a conversation that we have a lot that not oftentimes is heard. And I'm like, I really want to put this in the background, because I feel like people need to hear this. And also in the circus, I've always been somebody that's an activist, I would say, but I'm not the one that always puts it into circus. And that's something that I'm working on, and seeing how can I bring some of my experiences and put it on this platform.
Your circus, your activism, and your activism to your circus.
Yeah, so this was like not saying that it's bad to go together, it's just something I don't really do. I'm rather the person like, I'm going to talk to you, and we're going to share our thoughts, and we're going to discuss how this is. I don't know how to put it into my pieces. I know I can put my feelings into it, which helps. So I put it together, and it came out like really great, and it was cool because it's like I wasn't really even trying to do something necessarily for that, but I'm like, it's Black History Month. I'm at Circus. I'm doing songs to like these Black artists, which are talking about some crazy things. I'm like, I'm just gonna put this together, and I was happy that I ended up doing it because it turned out great, and I shared it on Instagram, and I saw like over 40 people sent it to other people.
Wow.
And just how much it was shared. So I'm hoping that a lot of people took that message, because it's not only, you don't have to just look at my handstands, you can listen to what the words that are
There's something behind the strength and the balance and the focus that you show. So I'm a techno peasant, better than many people. I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Oh my goodness. Yep. Hopefully this will work and we can show that video. I think. Sorry, let's try again. I think part of it is accepting that it's so much beauty in being Black. And that's the thing that I guess I get emotional about, because I've always known that. I've always been proud to be Black. Never wanted to be nothing else. Loved everything about it. Just, it's such beauty in Black people. And it really saddens me when we're not allowed to express that pride in being Black. And that if you do, then it's considered anti-white. No, you just pro-Black, and that's okay. The two don't go together. Because you celebrate Black culture does not mean that you don't like white culture or that you're putting it down. It's just taking pride in it. But what's irritating is when somebody says, they're racist. That's reverse racism. Or they have a Black History Month, but we don't have a White History Month. Well, all we've ever been taught is white history. So why are you mad at that? Why does that make you angry? That is to suppress me and to make me not be proud. So now I have to try and turn that off and bring us back. And you want to say anything about that video?
No, I just want people to digest it and listen. Everything she said is everything that I feel. I understand exactly. And it's a conversation that happens all the time, which people don't even know. Just like, why is there a Black History Month?
And you're starting this conversation at your school, is my understanding. And since you're at home, St. Louis has once again been an epicenter of protest. Maybe not the epicenter of this particular round of protests, but there have certainly been a lot, and I know you've been protesting.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be going back to school.
The 31st, leaving next Monday.
But we're going to see if we can now, since all our classes are on Zoom, we can have you as a guest teacher on Zoom as well.
Yeah.
We'll keep up with that. And again, people should tune in on the 10th. And, August 10th, our big show is October 10th. August 10th is this year's Fox Teen Talent. Right after we had 2 acts chosen for the finals, the Midnight Rose duo, Jayla and Sabrina, and our juggler, Sean Petrick, were chosen for the finals. And you can tell people how amazing it is to perform on the Fox stage. And then the pandemic hit. So they couldn't do that. They're going to use some of the acts. They're using video from their second audition. Some of the acts, like the Midnight Rose duo, they're going to use their video. For Sean, he went into the Fox and performed on an empty stage, which he said was very odd. And they're going to show that on August 10th. The judges will vote on who gets the college scholarships and other prizes, but the Audience Choice Award is afterwards. So we hope everybody will tune in and that their audience choice will be Midnight Rose and or Sean Petrick. I don't know how it works, but it's the 9 network here. I don't know if you can watch it from Canada, but you'll find out what happens.
Yeah. Gonna figure out how to see it.
Yeah. There's probably online, you can watch it on the 9 Network. I'm not sure how that all works. I want to thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thanks for representing
Thanks for having me.
Circus Harmony everywhere you go. And I wish you continued success. I know some circus shows are getting back, and in other countries where they're dealing much better with the pandemic. Keaton, who also went to ENC, is working in Australia. Danielle, who's been a guest coach with us, not one of our students, but a graduate from ENC, his first show is working in Germany and just got extended. So there is circus work out there. How many more years do you have of circus college?
2 more years after this.
So, and then watch out world. So, thank you again. This is Kyron Walton. You can follow him on Instagram. Is that the best place for people to follow you?
Yeah, Instagram would probably be the best.
And that video is on your channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
Kyron Walton. And of course, people can share this live stream and watch it again. So thank you very much. We usually end the show with Miss Maple doing some tricks. And I'll see you one more time. And I look forward to the act and the statement that you're contributing to the Balancing Act show on October 10th.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And now we come to that awkward moment where I put the computer on the floor. Let me just, Miss Maple, can you go home, please? Go home. No, go home. You didn't hear that. So now we do the miracles of modern technology, not so miraculous technology. Clumsiness. Okay, a little bit with Miss Maple. So let's start with the classic. Have you seen Maple? That was your cue, actually. Maple. Eyes go. Have you seen Maple? Where? Where's Maple? Huh? Behind me? Where's Maple? Where's Maple? What? There she is. This is Miss Maple. And Miss Maple got a new carpet because we've been doing outside shows. We've been doing unroll the carpet or unroll the carpet the whole way. There you go. Oh, it bumped into your house. Let's move it off from your house. There you go. Push, push. Good girl. So we do a show called the 6 Feet Circus with some of our current students from Circus Harmony. We perform it outside only when the audience can be at least 6 feet away. And it's been really, really hot. So Maple got this lovely new carpet that matches the rest of the set. And you can book the 6 Feet Circus by calling us or messaging us on any of our social media or through our booking agency, everydaycircus.net. So Miss Maple, since it's voting day, why don't we do this? Ready? Sit. And rise up. Rise up. Go vote. Good girl. Yeah, Miss Maple's a very good dancer. Can you show us your dancing? That would be cheating if you're leaning on me. Dancing. Very good dancing. See? And of course, I can't miss an opportunity to remind you that we have our own coffee. It is, you're blocking the coffee shot. Go home. Go home. Our Defy Gravity coffee is available online at circusharmony.org. And if you're lucky, it would be delivered by Maple, or we can mail it to you, or you could pick it up from Circus Harmony. But this coffee supports our Flying Children Scholarship Fund. So it gives you a lift, helps a child soar, all in one cup. And speaking of soaring, Maple will do her grand finale of leaping through a hoop of fake fire. Ready? Up. Ah, that wasn't much of a leap. Maple. Up. Much better. Give it up for the marvelous Miss Maple. Okay? And go home. Because we're still sheltering in place, except for that 6 Feet Circus show. But we're in our last week of circus summer camps and classes. We're going to give our teachers a 2-week break because it's really hard teaching on Zoom. But our teachers have been amazing. and they have created curriculum that works really well online. And we are starting our fall classes the last week of August. Information will be up soon at circusharmony.org. And we're creating classes that can be Zoomed to you at your school. If school wants a class, if you have a parent pod or a neighborhood pod for your child individually, for you, if you just need to have some exercise other than sitting at the computer, we can also Zoom our circus shows. What we do is we bring the big top under your rooftop. So if you know anybody who might be interested in our Defy Gravity 101 basic circus class, circus science, we teach science concepts through circus. Our hula hoop dance class, where you're dancing and hula hooping, it's a new genre, fusion of hoop and dance that we've created, and it's great for classes. Or if you just want to Zoom in a circus show, go to circusharmony.org, message us, let us know if you would like to book us or if you'd like to sign up for one of our regular classes. We can do these classes once, we can do a whole semester, or we're very flexible. Hey, it's the circus, and we can make a program just for you. It's physical education, it's educational education, that science concept, circus science class, and we would just love to be bringing the circus to you. And once again, we thank you for letting us make your day a circus day. Jessica Hentoff, this is the City Museum Facebook page where every Tuesday we do our Up in the Air live stream. Don't forget Monday, cheer on the Circus Harmony Acts, Midnight Rose and Sean Petrick on the Fox Performing Arts Charitable Funds St. Louis Teen Talent Competition, which will be on the 9 network. We post the information about it on all of our social media. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. That act that Kyron was in, the hand-to-hand act with Oliver, was from our show Accelerando. It was a spy versus spy thriller. We just put all those videos up. If you haven't seen them, they are so much fun, and you have to figure out what the top secret is at the end. I'm glad you got to learn a little bit more about Kyron Walton, one of our students, one of our alumni, and hope to see you next week, where I will still be battling technology, still be drinking circus coffee, because Defy Gravity coffee is what keeps me going through these times. And again, thanks for letting us make your day a circus day. And hopefully I can turn this off. It's always, see? Oh my goodness. And go vote. If you're in St. Louis or somewhere else that's having elections today, please go vote.